And we are back. Pokemon Black 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke. The run continues. We have completed all 8 gym badges, and now we are on our way to Victory Road. But first, we got to take on Team Plasma Ghetsis as well as Team Plasma Colress. Let's do it. And for our Route 22 encounter, it is going to be the Rock Psychic Solrock here. And this is fine. It's just this is usually where I secure the Mienfoo. So there is probably not going to be a Mienshao this playthrough. And I'm pretty disappointed as Mienshao is one of my favorite fighting types and has clutched so many runs in the past. So we're just going to have to really push through. We don't get the Mienshao and we don't get the Lucario. Let's see what happens. And then for our giant chasm encounter, it is going to be the chubby little Clefairy here. And this is pre-Gen 6, so you don't actually get the fairy typing. So it's just going to be a normal type Pokemon here. And that's fine. We'll just add it to the PC. And then for our Humalaw or Humalay City encounter, it is going to be Corsola. And we are just continuing our streak of fantastic encounters. But for our seaside cave encounter, it is going to be the Crustle. Chuck the Pokeball and secure an actually really good Pokemon. Let's do it. Alright, after training up the team and finishing with all first encounters, we run into Colress, the mad scientist, and we've got the team looking pretty good, but really all of our eggs are in the crocodile basket. They really are. The alligator, or the crocodile I should say, is going to take on the world here. And in my white 2 run, I had Crocodile out and the Magnezone crit a flash cannon and it one-shot my Crocodile. So thankfully we have a bonus special defense nature this time, so maybe that might be the difference. But either way, we're going to chuck Angela the zebra out here first. We're going to get a light screen down and just try to protect the Crocodile as best we can. So the Magneton gets a nice tri-attack, but the damage is halved because of the light screen. And now we're just going to chip Magneton with the Volt Switch to get rid of Sturdy. So definitely trying to use everything we've learned in the previous runs to get some success down on the table here in this fight. So the Thunder Wave, perfect pivot, doesn't even affect us because of the ground typing. And now Arya is ready to feast, gets a 4-time super effective stab bulldoze onto the opposing Magneton, and it drops. Sturdy is already popped because of the Volt Switch, and we are looking really good. However, the biggest threat in this entire fight comes down the Magnezone, looking bulky, looking beefy, ready to go. We get the 4 times bulldoze, and it does bring Magnezone all the way down to Sturdy and reduces its speed, but for some reason it goes for discharge, maybe thinking we were going to run away, but we are not. And we get another bulldoze off of the heel turn, and Magnezone's final mistake might have just happened as Colress cannot heal the UFO anymore, and I am still bewildered. What was that discharge? Who looks at a ground type alligator or crocodile and uses an electric type move as Behemoth just falls to a stab crunch, and Arya is just dancing on all of these baddies. Kling Klang comes down, does have the air balloon for the ground type protection, so we are just going to lean into one of our other moves to pop the balloon as it goes for a shift gear, buffing a lot of its stats here, the attack and speed going through the roof. We get a super effective rock smash just to lower, I think we got to lower the defense as well. I think we lowered the defense as well, and then the stab bulldoze fadeaway crits the gears, and I don't even know what is happening in this fight. Absolute nonsense, and the Metang comes down. It is not a Metagross, but still looking pretty good as we get a really good bulldoze down, basically halving the agility proc right there, and it is still faster, gets a stab meteor mash. We just got to hold on, and we do. Arya still above half HP with another fadeaway critical. Arya will not be denied, and before you know it, Colress is gone, and all we had to do was switch from our zebra to the crocodile. Ridiculous stuff. I think half the commentary was nonsense, but we did it. And I think we are on to Ghetsis. Let's do this. All right, it is now time to take on Team Plasma Ghetsis. I've been waiting all day for this. We don't have the moveset with me. We're going in blind. I've played this part in white 2 4 times, so I feel pretty prepared for it. And also with the moveset, I tend to overthink it since I know all of the moves at their disposal. I'm like, well, he's obviously going to go for this, so let's pivot into this, and then sometimes I get burned because of that. Now, I do think having the moveset does give you the edge a little bit, but we're just going to see if we can do this without it. If I lose a bunch of Pokemon, we can definitely look back at this moment and go, well, this is why you've lost all those Pokemon. So, but first, we need to take on this monstrous fusion of a legendary Pokemon here. I believe it's called Black Kyurem, and oh my gosh. So, we've dealt with White Kyurem 4 times. It's always terrifying because of White Kyurem's massive special attack, but Black Kyurem is more focused on the physical, and we might be able to get away with it because of that. So I think right here we're dealing with a dragon ice type. So I think we're going to go with our Crustle here and Alagasia or Alagasia. And I think we just double down on Rock Slide and hopefully we can live whatever Kyurem goes for. So we are slower. The Dragon Breath is special. This is going to do massive damage. No paralysis. Oh my lord, it's a crit. It is an absolute crit. We do get a massive Rock Slide out, but oh, do we respond with a crit? Nope, that's just raw damage. Oh my god, they both crit. Are you serious right now? The monstrous dragon crits and the crab crits. Now, we did have Sturdy, but the dragon's passive actually overrides Sturdy like Mold Breaker. So if that would have done 36 more damage, we would have lost our Crustle. That is incredible. My gosh, every time I'm in this moment in the Giant Chasm, it's just like, are you serious right now? I cannot believe they just traded critical hits. That is crazy, and that is how we are going to start our fight against Ghetsis here. So this is going to be a 6-on-6. I believe we are 1 level up, since the level cap is actually with the Elite Four right now, but it's going to be close. It is going to be very close, so watch out for that. So in my final White 2 run, I ran the Altaria, and we did the Dragon Dance, Rest, Complete Cheese strategy, and we ended up sweeping Ghetsis completely. So in that vein, I'm going to do the Shell Smash and try to sweep that way. It might go horribly wrong, and if it does, we're just going to have to mix and match and just really pull something out of thin air here. But if we can kill 2, 3, 4 Pokemon with just Crustle, then we are going to be looking absolutely beautiful. So with all of that pre-cap out of the way, I do believe we just go for the Shell Smash. We have a Pecha Berry in case Cofagrigus goes for the Toxic play, and it also has Protect if my memory serves. So we're going to drop our defense, we're going to drop our special, and then we just saw this, I think it was last video with Caracosta, so thank you for that strategy there, Marlon. So we are getting a ton of stats in exchange, and the Toxic does come down, so there is a ticking time bomb here. And we got to keep in mind that I don't have anything super effective against the Cofagrigus, so we are not going to be able to kill. And I'm pretty sure it's going to go for Toxic again. So I think we're going to go for Shell Smash Double Down. And it's going to get risky, though. It's going to get really risky really quickly. If it went for Protect there, it would have been like GG. But thankfully, if this misses Toxic, this would be massive as well. So I can speed up all the stat boost here, and then the stat drops. Let's see what Coffin goes for. Does the Toxic miss? It does not. So we cannot get rid of that Toxic. So it's probably going to go for Protect now, if I was a betting man. And if it doesn't, and it attacks us with a Shadow Ball, I think we are absolutely in trouble. It does go for the Protect Cheese, absolutely. So now we are +6 speed, +6 attack, and +6 special attack. However, we are completely vulnerable. If we get touched with any move, we will die, essentially, and the Toxic is putting us on a timer. So I think we all in the Rock Slide, since it's going to be over 100 power, and then because it's stab, but if it misses, I think we just lost Crustle. But if I go for Bulldoze and it doesn't kill, we also lose Crustle. So I'm all in on Rock Slide. Please connect. Alagasia, yes, thank you so much. And this has to kill. Cofagrigus, a monstrous defense stat, and it goes down beautiful. Let's see if we can grab 1 or 2 other Pokemon before we got to get Crustle to safety here, because we might want to utilize this strat in the Elite Four as well. So Seismitoad comes down. And let's see here. Seismitoad is groundwater. So let's see. I think Bug's neutral, right? because rock resists bug, but ground does not. It is neutral. So this should be a one-shot X Scissor, if I'm not mistaken, unless somehow this toad can hold on and cling to life. And again, if it does, we lose the crab here. But again, if Cofagrigus drops to a stab rock throw, or a stab rock slide rather, then all of these other Pokemon should be in trouble. And does that mean we can tank one more Toxic? Does that mean we can tank one more Toxic? I'm rolling it. Honestly, if we lose the crab while taking 3, I'm going to be satisfied. But let's go all in and hope that the crab can live with single digits. I'm doing it. I'd rather do that than swap into a Hydreigon, honestly. So if we lose Crustle here, it is on me, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. So Alligator drops back, uses the X Scissor. This is going to do so much damage. We didn't even need +6 for this, but the Hydreigon is gone, and now the moment of truth. We just need 68 damage here. All we need is 1 HP. All we need is 1 HP, Crustle. All we need is 1, and we have plenty. We have plenty to spare, and I do believe we're going to swap. Now, again, if memory serves, I think Drapion is dealing with Earthquake. Earthquake, maybe X Scissor, Night Slash, and maybe like Poison Fang, potentially a poison type move. So we definitely don't want to swap into a ground in case it does go for that Earthquake. A ground weakness Pokemon here. So I'm kind of liking Durza, because if we can get the Drapion paralyzed, I think that would be really clutch. So let's go ahead and applaud the Crustle. Let's get Crustle to safety, and now it's up to the rest of the team here, the other 5 team members, to take on Ghetsis and win this fight. Earthquake does come down, and it is a perfect pivot. And let's see here. I think we got Electros, and there's going to be one other Pokemon, the Toxicroak. So let's see here. I think we go for a Stab Acrobatics, since that's just going to do the most damage. I'm banking on the fact that Durza can survive 1 move from Drapion, and that gets him to half. But we are in a 5th gym scenario here, to where if we don't get the high roll, if that was the high roll, we're not going to finish off Drapion, and we lose our Durza here, and it's probably going to go for Night Slash again. We know it's not going for Earthquake. Really tough spot to be. So we could Volt Switch, but Drapion could potentially get healed. We have a chance of critting as well. Or we could just hard swap, but then someone's going to have to tank potentially 2 moves anyway. I think we go for the Volt Switch. I don't think this is going to kill, but it has the potential if it does crit, and we get Durza to safety, so no one has died. Again, if you keep doing this to the point where you're trying to save everyone, sometimes you end up saving no one, so this could bite me in the end. They're still going to have the Toxicroak, the Electros, so that's actually really bad, since Electros is going to have a field day with my team here. But we know he's not going Earthquake. And we could potentially cheese swapping back into Durza. I'm going to go Angela. I don't think there's a better way to get the Zebra in there. So let's see. It goes for the Night Slash. If this crits, we are absolutely in trouble. Okay, no crit. We are dead to another crit, though. And I think we go Wild Charge. We're going to take massive damage on the recoil, but Ghetsis does use the full restore. So the thing here is I think the Zebra can 2-shot. But with Wild Charge giving all that recoil damage, this could end badly. And we cannot. Holy Cracker Jacks. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. And Drapion could go for another Earthquake, and that potentially opens the door to a double Volt Switch combination here between the Zebra and Durza, the Flying Chipmunk. So I'm going all in on this complete prediction here. Come on, Drapion, give me the Earthquake. If Drapion just went with a Night Slash, we do lose the Flying Chipmunk, and it goes for Earthquake, and we get a perfect pivot. And I do believe that means we can honestly just finish the Drapion, I think. We don't need to do the Volt Switch, and then we can just Volt Switch to safety. But if it's an Electros, that doesn't really matter. We would actually want a clean swap in that case. And then if it's the Toxicroak, he could use Sucker Punch or something and try to kill us from that range. Although we could probably one-shot with Acrobatics. Yeah, but if it's the Electros, I think we Volt Switch. Okay, so no heal comes down. Let's hope this is the right decision. Let's get Durza to safety again, and now we're dealing with a Electros and a Toxicroak. So both can hit Lapras for super effective, which is really tough. I can't really do anything with Angela. Aragon's also up for grabs, but he does have Acrobatics. So I'm actually going to go into Oramis here, my Pride and Joy Lapras. And there is the Electros. Now, we have Shell Armor, so we cannot get crit. And I'm really banking on that. And I think we just go for an Ice Beam. We are faster, and if we can tank one, we're going to be able to tank one electric type move here. We could try to do a Rain Dance Cheese into Vaporeon, but that seems rather excessive. I'm going to go for a Stab Ice Beam. And we're actually slower. Lapras is slower, and it goes for an Acrobatics, which is beautiful damage, but it's less than what I think Thunderbolt would have done. And we have the leftovers, which is really nice. And I don't mind doing that trade one more time. But now I am a little bit nervous in case it does go for an electric type move that can probably double that damage, since Acrobatics is doing quite a bit neutral, if that makes sense. So I think we pivot into Roarin, the Vaporeon, who has the Rocky Helmet, and then just let the Eel take himself out if that can work. And it goes for the Thunderbolt, which is beautiful. He completely baited us, and we do not get the Rocky Helmet. Oh, dang it. That was beautiful. I got played like a fiddle. Crackers. Because now Vaporeon's in trouble. Because if it just goes another Thunderbolt, which I think it would, but if it pivots, I'm going to actually go into Angela, who we know is faster than the Electros, but if it goes to another neutral type move, and it goes for the Thunderbolt, and we get the Motor Drive, there we go. So that definitely helped us bounce back completely all over the place here, and I do believe we can just get a neutral Stomp and finish off the Eel. Such a good, diverse moveset, but we made it through. A lot of indecision, and there is the Toxicroak, who has a lot of dark type moves, and I think we're fine. We just got to watch out for the Stab Brick Break. I think we Volt Switch into Emboar. I think that's the play, and as long as it doesn't use Sucker Punch, we're fine to use Volt Switch. But if it does use Sucker Punch, we just need to watch out for the critical. Okay, it does use Sucker Punch, no critical, we should be fine. No critical, beautiful. Great stuff there. If Sucker Punch was Stab, it would do a lot more than that. And a nice chunk right off the top. And we did go second, so this is actually a clean swap. So we could either go into Roarin. I think we just go into... I would go Durza, but if it goes Sucker Punch, Durza might die. Let's see. How much defense? 76 defense. 68, yeah. I'm a little bit scared, especially if it crits. Let's just go into Aragon. Let's go into our starter, Emboar, and see if we can finish this on a high note. Toxicroak is fighting poison, so we can do a super effective Bulldoze. But we could also do a Stab Heat Crash. I don't think Toxicroak weighs much. I'm going all in. Let's do Heat Crash. Poison Jab comes down. This is Stab. This is going to do quite a bit of damage to our pig here, but we are just fine. We are absolutely just fine. The pig drops back. Monstrous Heat Crash comes down, and it isn't enough. You've got to be kidding. It's not enough. And now we are dead to a Poison Jab critical. We are absolutely dead to a Poison Jab critical. I think we got to roll it. I think we have to roll it. If this crits, we lose Aragon. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. We do get poisoned, but I think we are outside of range. Aragon drops back with a bulldoze and finishes Team Plasma Ghetsis. Was that a good fight? No. Was that a clean fight? Absolutely not. But did anyone die? No, they didn't. Wow. So we beat the legendary dragon. We beat Ghetsis, and that only leaves Victory Road, our rival, in the Elite Four. Wow. I am so happy we didn't lose anybody. Still recovering from that Lucario or potential Lucario loss with the Riolu going down so early. But I think we've got this. Let's just keep moving forward. Let's keep this momentum. And yeah, I'll be seeing you against our rival. Hopefully no tragedy in Victory Road, but let's see what happens. As always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.